My lovely, lovely, wonderful people, a pleasant evening to you. So beautiful people, I saw a very disturbing billboard. I think Rude Boy was on it. So you have it's representing like a lady's legs stretching out and like a bottle in the middle of the legs. I can't even describe how degrading such debacle is. It's almost catastrophic. And you probably wonder why I would use such a strong word. I have to use such a word because of the representation of that billboard, of that poster, whatever it is that you want to call it. So you have the ladies like spread out open wide with a bottle in the middle where her anatomy would be, her vagina would be. What are you saying about women? The degradation, that is a very patriarchal, hegemonic play going on there, A very, very disturbing thing. Again, another spoke in the wheel to subjugate the woman. To subjugate the woman, thinking that that is what represents woman. Woman who additionally to the man, or additionally, was made in the image and the likeness of God himself. And this is a billboard that went through whatever processes. And then I'm hearing the mayor speaking. I think it's a mayor for either St. Catherine or somewhere in Spanish Town. I'm not even sure how the zoning goes. Saying they don't know how it passed that particular aspect of the processing for it to go through, and that by July they should be able to sort things out where policies put in place, or it is enforced rather, for things like this nature. I am so incensed, because why did you have a male's legs then doing that? You know why? You can't disgrace the males like that. How dare you? That is what is going to be said. How dare you do that to a man? To try and emasculate the man. And then you bring on homosexuality and all manner of evil associated with such a billboard. But yet the lesser of the two evils would be, I better you put it with the woman, yeah, because at least a woman is made to receive, literally and figuratively. Shame on the people who even thought of making such a billboard. Shame. It looks horrible. There's nothing attractive about it. And if women were smart and sensible, they should be beastly marching out against these things, that they don't even think of doing something like this again. Because the unfortunate thing is that you have women who probably say, but it look all right to me. And they don't understand the systemic negativity that will continue in situations that you may think is very simple. Oh, it's just a simple little billboard representing a woman's legs stick out with a beer bottle where her anatomy would be. What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? That hegemonic maleocracy stain it is diabolical to the woman. It speaks about subjugation of the woman. It's what it is trying to say is, why the woman are really so important. We can't dare do that to the man. We can't dare have a male's legs stretched out with a beer bottle in the middle. But you can dare to do it to a woman. And if women only understood the seriousness of such a play. And then I'm listening to some people on the television talking about they don't know how it. We mean they don't know how it passed this. So we mean the school children in London would not even make it past the bridge. The most insane person wouldn't even make it past the line. The color them all ugly together. Just look here. I don't even want to begin to start to describe and really become vitriolic. The powers that be need to come in, need to really enforce some laws where these things, people are held seriously accountable. Because you know what I don't understand? Many of you come from that same woman. Many of you claim when Mother's Day is here, the celebration that we see from mothers, the celebratory effects and whatnot. And these are the things that we still face. The subjugation of the woman. To think that that would be why would that even come across their minds to even think to promulgate into the atmosphere for them to recant and to take and to rescind the post or the billboard or whatever it is. And every last one of them came from a woman. Every last human being, barring none. I could even want two become out as still as something from a woman. How dare you people? A shame and a disgrace to our women. To our wonderful women. Then mind you, you have some women where, boy, may I tell you, they may not fall under the wonderful women, and I'm not lying to you, Don't get me wrong. You have some that you have to say to yourself, say, Father, I don't know, but something is off. But outside of that, we need to show more regard and respect to our women. You have so many women heroes. They may not necessarily, they don't have to be a nanny, but the things that they have done. When I think of our women, let me show you something, people. They talk about, what you call it there now, statistics shows that, you have a lot of children who from single parent homes, headed matriarchal homes, headed by women. Women are the breadwinners, sole breadwinners, the leaders of the homes. That, many of them become violent and whatnot. Let me ask you a question. For the fathers who have abandoned their children and abandoned their roles as fathers, and if the mother didn't stay, what would have happened to those children? All right, so the father abandoned. What if the mother had abandoned too? What do you think would have happened? Death would have been so tumultuous. It would become a stench to God. God would definitely have to come down and deal with planet Earth himself. Can you imagine the women followed those men and abandoned the children? You still have to give it up to the women who tried. And I'm not for once lauding or praising or even excusing women who have been abusive and violent to their children. Apart from their own personal demons, they have had to deal with the pain and the hurt that many of those men caused them. I'm just showing you a parallel here. So when you think of doing these billboards, remember that the woman did not abandon you. 90% of the women in the world, I can't call that figure without even looking at statistics. That's normal. Have not abandoned. They may not have been the best parent. That I'm talking about the abandonment physically. Because if they had done that, if they had followed the men, you would have starved to death. You would have starved to death. You would not be living most or all women had abandoned their children like their male counterpart. The children would starve to death. It would be mayhem and bloodshed on the land. So I have to congratulate the women who stayed and tried. Not excusing your abusive ways if you were abusive. So we ought to show much respect to our women and stop coming up with these things that always sexualize the woman as though the woman is just a sex symbol. She's just sex. Nothing else. She's an airhead otherwise, an idiot otherwise. But she just only represent, I just need to release, I go to this symbol here. How dare you? Because that's what I see when I look at that board, that billboard or whatever you call it. I don't even know what you call that thing. One ought to be ashamed. You ought to be ashamed. Anyway, guys, you know what to do. Read TikTok and YouTube. Subscribe, give me one of those lions, and you can follow me on Instagram.